Hi there, guys. This is Vinney Chopra. We are trying to come to you every week, sometimes twice a week or 3 times a week. I hope you like the content. This is this podcast we do with young entrepreneurs, with successful people in multifamily. And we got great two guests today, and also my co-host right there, Ethan. Ethan Diaz is also with me today. It's going to be a fabulous episode. So I hope you listen towards the end because we're going to give so many nuggets for young entrepreneurs, and that's what this whole show is about. And remember, this is Syndication Made Easy, the sequel to the book that I wrote a couple of years back, became a big seller. And then second book, The Positivity Brings Profitability. And the third book on senior investing, Made Easy, is coming up. So thank you for liking, giving us 5-star reviews, and just writing some great comments and all, so that we can rise up high in the iTunes. So let me introduce our great friends. We got Harris and Ethan right there. We got 2 Ethans in the house. How are you guys? How are you?
Doing well. Hope you guys are doing well.
Oh, excellent.
Good. Doing better.
Sure.
Smile, Vinney. You stop smiling ever, or is it just
What can I say? To be very truthful, I've been smiling for over 40 years. And I tell people, if I don't smile, my cheeks pain, literally. My muscles have gone into smiling. That is natural, totally natural. I will smile when I sleep. My wife tells me, we've been married 41 years, and that's when she says, but, when I don't smile, literally, I just, it just pains my cheeks.
Good problem to have.
I know. So, hey guys, let me introduce formally, our brother Harris. Harris Trail is a full-time entrepreneur, investor, and licensed real estate agent. Harris has been a part of the success of multi-startup companies since starting his entrepreneur journey at the age of 16. This is a great episode for the adult people to share with your children. I'm really telling you, there's going to be so much covered today as young entrepreneurs. He leverages his experience in developing efficient systems that scale value-based marketing strategies. We're going to talk about all that. And brother Ethan Neumann is an entrepreneur, podcast host, syndicator, realtor, and a lifetime learner. He has started in real estate at the age of 18. And when he founded a single family investment company that did 300K in revenues in its first year. So we're in for a big ride. He currently serves as the co-founder and director of the investor relations for the Visioneer Capital. Welcome to both of you. Let's go into it. So tell me more. Why at such young age you guys, dropped? I don't know if you dropped out of college or something, but I know brother Ethan Diaz, my friend right here, also started journey, right, Ethan? When did you start your journey, bud?
So I started the same age as Harris at 16. So that was like my junior year of high school. I finished high school early just so I could work full time, so I could save up money just so I could dedicate myself just to real estate.
Wow. So, who wants to take first, Harris or Ethan? Tell us, what made you jump the ship, and how hard was it to, tell your parents that you're going to do this?
I usually go first, so I'll let Harris go first this time.
So really, like I said in the intro, or you said, I started my entrepreneurial journey at 16. Well, actually, I think it was 15. My mom had corrected me the other day. But I've always been an entrepreneur ever since I was a little kid. It was just something I liked making money. I always liked making money. And, I always thought that my ability to think creatively could help start a business. And ultimately, when Ethan brought to me the opportunity of doing real estate, Ethan was the one that actually had taken the first leap in terms of starting the business. He had brought it to me and he's like, hey, I'm starting a real estate company. And I was like all in on it, honestly. Like even my family wasn't even in on it, which was the crazy part. It was almost like one of those things where I was telling my family before I had even started, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to get into real estate. Like I want to start selling houses. And they're like, yeah, okay, well, good luck with that. That'll be fun. And then, I think it really hit me with the mindset shift about 6 months in, when I started waking up every morning and I was loving what I was doing. And that comes in a big part to Ethan and our other partner at the time, Ben. Both of them, pushed me very hard. And our whole friend group really pushed each other. So that was a thing for me, is just being surrounded by people that want, me to do better and do, bigger things for myself.
Excellent. I always found that, in my journey, by the way, my wife didn't believe in me. Our daughters,
Hey, that's how it happens.
She said, Dad, what are you doing? I mean, you're going into new charter grounds. So I can see that, So how about yourself, Ethan? How did you start then? When did you tell your parents and so forth? And I'm trying to picture it. Who gave you that idea? Got into your mind, and then you quit school. Is that right? Or did you graduate?
No. Yeah. Harris and I both dropped out. I dropped out after my freshman year, and then Harris a year later. But honestly, I don't know. There's a question of whether entrepreneurs are born or they're made. And honestly, I think it's a little bit of both, because I've always been kind of on that, just like Harris and just like Ethan, I've always been on that path. Starting it's really cliche, I say this, but it's like a lawn care company since I was like 13, 14 years old, out there mowing lawns. And that's how I actually got the money to start the single family business, is saved up from lawn mowing. And even freshman year of college, I was, trying to do drop shipping. I created like a dorm solutions company with my previous partner, Ben, where we were making just different ways to make your dorm better, like a mattress extender. We went to prototype that. But then I heard about wholesaling and creative financing and single family. And I was like, this seems like it's more up my alleyway and more sustainable long-term. And I think I mentally dropped out before I physically dropped out. And that came from just educating myself and hanging out with the right people. Every time I talk to a teacher or talk to a family member that's never done real estate, they're like, hey, you got to finish college. You got to do this. You got to have this as a backup. And all the people that I talked to in real estate were like, no, if you want something and you think you're going to be able to get it, go for it. Don't leave something to fall back on, because then you're not going to go as hard. Don't fall back on anything. Believe in yourself and go towards that goal. And you're going to have to win. You're going to have to do it. And that's what we ended up doing. We dropped out, and now we're still in it. We're still making things happen.
That's so great what you just talked about, burning the bridges, we call them, right? Many times we want to go further in our life, but then we always have that plan number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 10. And then, our subconscious says, what, don't work too hard because you got that. So by making that decision to say that I'm going to the undeniable power to go forward, I'm not looking back, right? Harris, that's what happened with you too, bud?
Yeah, really, we didn't have a plan B, especially after dropping out of school. Everything was on us. So we had no plan B. And I think a big point that older people need to realize is that when a kid, let's say your kid drops out of college, that doesn't mean that he's going to stop learning. Learning doesn't stop, or learning only isn't through formal education. I've learned way more after dropping out of school than I ever learned when I was in school, in college, in my classes. So I think that's a common misconception. It's like, oh, if you drop out, you're not going to learn anymore. You're done learning. That's so not true, especially with the way the digital age is now.
I think that's also pressed upon. I think that's a form of projecting from people who have gone out of college and kind of have just had a stable job and they've been comfortable and they've kind of let themselves relax and they haven't grown as much. I've seen it in my family, and I've seen the opposite in my family. And I think people project their own lives, their own experiences, and their own beliefs on other people, and that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, and they care for us. To be truthful, they want us to be in the comfort zone and security and everything, not to lose time and money, right? Those are most possessed. Same thing happened with brother Ethan. Ethan, tell us. Your dad gave you a choice, right?
Yeah, so my dad wanted me to take over his practice. He's a physician. He's been practicing here in Florida for 15 years. So the goal was always for me to take over. Academically, I was always pretty good. But then just seeing the shift of like him going from being a physician full-time to, doing real estate part-time, it kind of opened it up. Like his dad makes the same amount of money as he does, but doesn't have to work, right? So seeing my dad work 80 hours, 100 hours a week, not spending time with him, I want a different future for my family, spending more time with them. At this rate, I could retire by the time I'm 30, but it's not work because I love it, right? So, for me, that's the big thing, just like the amount of time that I would have to put in as a physician and being, going to college as well.
I think we talk about that all the time, Ethan. Harris and I are like, we're gonna be able to retire early, but we're never gonna retire. Just like Vinney's still doing this when he's older. Like when you make it to a certain point, it starts to become more like a game. Yeah. And we're not to that point, yet. It's life or death right now for us. You know what I'm saying? So we're still in the trenches and hustling and everything. But once you get to a certain point, when I talk to people who have made it and they're older and they've been doing this for a long time, they don't ever want to stop because it's a game. They love what they do.
So right. I mean, I got into the multifamily game when I was 54 or so. Guys, you're so young, 19, 16, 18. I mean, you'll be multi-millionaires, billionaires, I'm so proud. I'm so happy to have you all together. So let me ask you a question. How do you defy not meeting your friends? You have to change your friend circle. I mean, those people who are going to college and you meet with them now, all right? So take me back. I mean, this could really help a lot of young people who want to take that step into multifamily or commercial or real estate per se.
I think Harris had the biggest shift from my perspective. So I'll let him.
Yeah. Well, so my freshman year of college, I was actually in a fraternity. So that is a completely different environment than what I'm in now. Yeah. So making that transition definitely wasn't easy. But it was about just spending time with the people that I could tell that their goals aligned with my goals. And I think that was the biggest thing is, go to club meetups, right? For if you're in college, most likely there's real estate meetups. Go there. You're not going to connect on a personal level with every single person that's there, but you might find one or two people that are there that you do like and that you do connect with. And then those people are going to have one or two people that they're friends with that also have that same goal as you to be, a real estate investor, and you might like their friends. So that's really how it was. I mean, I found Ethan. So Ethan was my one friend that was in real estate, and that was big. And yeah, we were random roommates, which was crazy. And then Ethan introduced me to a couple of his friends, and then I also like them. And then they've introduced us both to a couple of their friends and their friends. And now our whole circle does real estate. So it's just like, it's about putting yourself in that environment where you will meet people with similar goals and a similar vision as you.
Excellent. I mean, we hear that all the time. We are the sum total of 5 books we read, sum total of 5 friends, closest friends we have, their attitudes, their habits, their things, what they talk about. So having that change of that whole, spectrum of the friendship, not that you hate them or anything, they're doing their own path, but where you want to be successful is different. But let me ask you a question. What's the biggest piece of advice for a parent trying to convince their kid to start in real estate? What kind of advice would you give?
You're asking a young crowd that question. So biggest advice for a parent to tell their kid, I would educate instead of telling your kid to do something, that's not the right way to do it. They're not going to do it if it's like, hey, you need to do this every day for an hour. It's homework at that point. Instead, educate your kid on the benefits of how going that direction would help them. And that's where, using avenues that they already like kids like YouTube. We'll show your kids some YouTube videos about a guy that, was, or a podcast about some kids that got into real estate and now they're making money and they enjoy what they do. And it's not necessarily a job. It's a hobby that makes them a lot of money at the same time. So, educate your kid and get your kid to think like, oh, wow, this could be very beneficial for me. And then once they start taking that action for themselves, that's when the real turning point is.
I think to add on to that, I think one of the most important things is finding out what their goals are, what their vision is, what they want their life to look like, because real estate can pretty much fit almost any goal you have.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to start, a school in another country, well, you could go be a teacher, and then you can meet people that are doing that, and you can connect the dots and raise money for that. Or you can go out and through real estate create financial freedom, time freedom, money freedom, and do it yourself. So one of the goals that Harris and I have is to go over to developing countries and build schools and libraries for these other kids. My mom's a teacher, and so I connect with that a lot.
Yeah.
It's not directly related to real estate, right? It's not directly related, but real estate gives us the capital, the avenue, the capital, and the time to be able to do that. And you can't do that with a lot of other jobs. Like, Ethan's dad is a physician. If he's working 80 to 100 hours a week, maybe he can help fund that, but he can't, it's going to be hard for him to get over there and spend 2 months, building it from the ground up and feeling, that purpose, doing it, with your hands on. So I think it's about finding their goals and their vision, and then showing that real estate can align that.
Love it. I mean, you're already thinking about giving back to the humanity and all. That's so exciting, because those things really make us work harder and enjoy and grow faster. And, the purpose is behind there. So what's your biggest learning lesson so far? Tell us.
Oh, man. I think one of the biggest learning lessons for, I guess while we're on this topic of our friends and stuff, when we started business, we tried to hire our friends to support our circle. Yeah. And it's just like, not everybody's on the same mindset. And so some people have to have time to evolve and mature. And we would hire a lot of friends, and they would just, not do the best job, not do it at all, not respond. So I think it's about really getting out of your comfort zone and connecting with people that do what you're looking to do full time. Connect with them instead of trying to bring everybody with you, because not everybody's going to come with you. Not everybody's on the same mindset yet. You can plant seeds, but you can't force anybody to do anything.
So true. So you cannot force anybody. What you just said is so right. We could share them, share with them the vision, I call it, right? Vision, the roadmap, and then follow through. So what should a young entrepreneur invest his money in first? Let's see, if somebody's trying to get into your shoes, what would you suggest, Harris?
I would say probably all of us would say invest in education, invest in yourself, right? That's the biggest thing is knowledge is power. Knowledge is everything. If you don't know what you're talking about, then you're not going to get very far, right? So a mentorship, a lot of people will bash a mentorship. If you go into like Reddit forums or whatever, your pockets, they're like, oh, you can do it yourself. You don't need that. But the thing is, for me, is it's like a mentorship has always taken me from starting at point 1 and slowly going to 2, 3, 4, and 5. It'll start you at point 15. And then you also have a network along with that, because the whole mentorship has people that you can, connect with inside of it. But you're starting at point 15, and then you're growing from there exponentially. So a mentorship is essential. And me and Ethan look for that when we try and get into anything new. I mean, when we got into real estate, when we got into real estate wholesaling, mentorship started us out, and it got us very far. Multifamily, even now I'm doing advertising. I'm trying to learn about marketing. There's mentorships with a lot of very bright people in there. And it's taken me from point 0 all the way to point 15 in a way shorter period of time.
I love that.
I like to add on to that.
Please.
To add on to that, when you invest in your education and when you invest in yourself, you can lose your business, right? You can lose all of your belongings. You can lose your house. You can lose your money. You can lose relationships. But the one thing you can't lose is what's in between your 2 ears. You can't lose your knowledge. You can't lose your outlook on life. As long as you invest in education, invest in mentorships, invest in books, then that's the one thing that you can control in life. And if you can control that, everything around you, everybody around you is gonna, get better for you. Your relationships are gonna improve, your business is gonna improve, your life is gonna improve, your fitness is gonna improve, your mindset, everything.
So true. So true. I mean, with the mentorship or coaching or accountability, like we say, all those things take out the fear. A lot of us are so fearful of taking the next step, to whether this is the right investment or not, or, how I not want to, put my foot on the mines, I call it, right? Blowing up or, losing money and things like that. Those are the biggest things in our life that we want to make sure that we don't really make those blunders or those mistakes, which if we didn't know about them, we might do them and then we'll lose money. That's how I look at it, right?
Yeah.
We can save a few thousand right here in getting coached and mentored, and then we could lose 5 times more later or something, right?
Yep.
No.
And I think you hinted at it, but another big thing about a mentorship that we've noticed, and I think this makes a huge subconscious effect, is the fact that everybody surrounding you is doing what you're doing, right? So like for a kid that plays, like I played basketball when I was growing up, and I went to practice every day. I thought everybody just played basketball. It was just always surrounding me. Yeah. And now with real estate, I'm in a couple of real estate mentorships, and everybody around me seemingly does real estate. And it's almost like, that's how the world is. and having that helps you kind of push past going 80 or 70, 80, 90% at something. And it helps you kind of encompass your life around something to where you can truly go 100%. And me and Ethan talk a lot about the difference between going 90% at your goal and going 100% all in on your goal, because it's a drastic difference.
Yeah, it's a drastic difference. And going 90%, you'll go through the motions, you'll get your stuff done if you have a meeting chart, if you have tasks, daily tasks, you'll get that stuff done. But when you're going 100% at something, your life is completely surrounded by it. And so you're going throughout the day and you have those ideas that pop into your head. You may be going on a walk and you have that idea that's going to fix this problem in your business. When you're fully encompassed in your business and you're going 100%, you just have these things that just happen, these positive benefits that happen in your business and these ideas that come to you. And it's a huge difference from going 90%. It's huge.
I love it. I love it. Let me ask you also on the same token, what habits have you formed? Let's say 3 different habits that you had to really get yourself going as you started investing in yourself and also in this business to grow.
I think the first one, I'll go first for myself. I think this is a cliche as well, but I think fitness is really big. Honestly, I think sweating every day or at least a few times a week is really good for you. And I also think it creates confidence. And when you can create self-confidence, people say personal issues turn into business issues, but personal strengths also turn into business strengths. So if you're extremely confident in yourself because you work out and you're in shape and you're healthy, I think it evolves into your business, whether you're networking, whether you're on the phone, talking to somebody, random. If you have that self-confidence, then that conversation is going to go a lot smoother, and you're going to get a little bit further.
You agree with that, right, Ethan, buddy? I know.
Yep.
Huh?
So Zig Ziglar says you have to be balanced in your spiritual, mental, and physical, right? So even if you're not religious, right, try to, meditate maybe. But it's something I've been trying to do, physical, try to get back into that. Like Ethan says, like it brings out that confidence in you.
Yeah.
When you're in shape, when you're talking to people, you just talk with like a level of confidence, and they trust you with that confidence that you talk. So that help when talking to investors. Investors invest in people, not in in deals, right? So once they trust you, they'll invest. So that kind of helps out with that as well.
For sure. And, having that. Thank you, Ethan. How about Harris? What do you say, bud?
Yeah, I mean, similar to Ethan, I think it's like if you feel good as a person every day and you feel confident, then that's going to, help you so much in business. A couple of the things that I've really been working on recently, which is something I didn't do at all before I got into, I guess, the whole business world and kind of in that mindset, is eating healthier. Trying to cook meals instead of going out eating fast food, that's something that, I've started really trying to focus on my health. And if you feel healthy and you work out, you transfer that confidence, and it makes a big difference. Another thing for me was waking up in the same time every day. And that really gets you in that rhythm. So some people, I have my alarm, it's set same time, and sometimes I'll even wake up right before my alarm. But I know a lot of people where they'll sleep in, it might be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock before they're waking up, then they feel drowsy all day. Getting in that motion, that daily motion to where your body feels good when you're making those calls, or whatever you're doing, you're going to be sharper, you're going to be more confident, and you're just going to enjoy your day more.
I have 2 more things to add on here.
Please, Ethan.
And Harris, stop me if I go for too long, because I can go off on a ramble on this. I think number 1, I have 2 more things. One thing is responsibility in the morning. I think having that first dose of responsibility and accomplishing a task in the morning is really important. And a lot of people talk about this. So whether it's making your bed or taking a cold shower, or for Harris and I, it's doing a, investor role play in the morning, every morning, or it's, cleaning your kitchen, anything that you want to do. It doesn't have to be 5-10 different things. If it's 1 or 2 different things that you can do in the morning to win and to create responsibility, that's going to affect you throughout the rest of the day. Number 2, and this is more on the business side, is looking outside of the box when it comes to your business. So Harris is really good at this, and I think he'll probably want to add on to this. But when we're in a single family, and even when you're in these mentorships, a lot of times, I think the downside to mentorships is there's a lot of like affiliate codes, affiliate marketing. So you're used to using one type of software in your business. So for example, in single family and wholesaling, there'd be a lot of softwares like PropStream. What are some other common softwares here? It's like call tools, just different.
Tracing, everything is all so generic.
Yeah, exactly. And then creating the habit to think outside of the box and really think about the business as a whole, you can expand your resources. So we would go out, and Harris especially would think about, okay, I know this dialer is being used in the wholesale industry. What about all these large insurance companies? What about these other large companies that are using these softwares? What are they using? Because we're so focused on the softwares for one particular industry. Different softwares in different industries can help us, even if we don't know about it.
Yep.
Oh, this is very good, Harris. So could you maybe expand on what softwares you use now that will help the audience? I think big times,
Yeah. So I think one of the big things that we realize is a lot of real estate softwares are very much overpriced, at least in our opinion. Because the people making the softwares, they know that real estate investors make more money and they're willing to spend more money on the software. So what I started thinking about, it's all marketing. And the biggest cost when it comes to business is typically, at least in single family, and it's very much apparent in multifamily as well, but it's cost of data and cost of getting that phone number for the person that you're trying to contact. And that's a thing where we were realizing that these, like batch lead, skip tracing, REI skip matrix, all of these companies that are like very big in the industry, they're charging a lot. But these insurance companies that are doing like background checks, they're getting phone numbers and they're not being charged nearly the same price. So a couple of really good resources I would say for people to check out. The first one being, if you're trying to get phone numbers for people, check out a company called IDI Core. They are very inexpensive and it's very high quality, and it's what insurance agencies use to pull their numbers.
IDI 4, is that right? No.
IDI Core, CORE.
Oh, cool. IDI Core.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get contact information for multifamily owners, if you're in that smaller range of 5 to 75 units, and you want to just call the owner up directly and create that relationship, that would be a good way to do it.
Excellent.
Really good way.
Wonderful.
One more software. I just want to throw this one in here because this is a complete gem. I mean, I love telling people this one. There's a company called regrid.com. I don't even know if I should be saying this right now, but it's such a gem. You guys got it. You guys got to look it up. Essentially, this company has all of the parcel records for every single county in the country for $100 per county. So I see a lot of our friends going out, like ListSource is a popular real estate software. It's very expensive. ListSource is scraping the county tax records and putting it all into one thing and charging you hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars for it. This company does the same exact thing, and we can get 200, 500, maybe a million records for $500 or less, and it's all very accurate. So
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, and
Great. Ethan, do we know about these, bud? Or
I don't think so.
oh, wow. So
I was
that's
gonna add on
great.
to that as well. As well. Sometimes you can get it directly from the tax website, from the tax assessor. Sometimes the county is just really not helpful and they don't want to, give that information to you, even though it's public record and you have a right to know it. So, I mean, you can do really creative things with that. All the data on tax records, they have different descriptions. So whether it's a depreciation value, one of the things that we did to find absentee owners in single family is it's really simple. You compare the property address to the mailing address and you write a code in your CSV file in your Excel sheet and say, hey, if these two items are different, that means it's an absentee owner. And you're getting that data for $100 for every single absentee owner in your county versus paying 20 cents a record, which can add up to thousands of dollars from these other companies.
Thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for sharing. I mean, these are just golden nuggets. So what would you say, somebody listening to us and watching, maybe even a parent might share this with their, older children and say, look at this episode, So what's the best way for them to get started in real estate?
I would say mentorship is a great way to get started.
Education, mentorship.
I would say education, but I'd say before you invest in your mentorship, I would say you need to know if that's something you want to do. Well, yeah, YouTube University, I would say take action first, because a lot of people will take action and then they either don't like it, they have something that pops up, or they want to do something else, and you want to save your money for something until you want to wait until you want to do it. So we didn't get a mentorship for wholesaling for the first few months. For us, it was because we didn't have enough money for a mentorship, but it also helped because once we got that mentorship, we knew it was after we got our first deal. We knew that we wanted to do this. We knew it was possible. We knew we were fully committed. So I think a lot of people will blame mentorships and say they don't work, but that's because most of the times you're not committed enough.
You got it. Oh my gosh. What you just said, taking action, being committed, learning the material. It's only material if you don't put it into action, right? I'm so proud of Ethan. I want to say that, right now that Ethan started and he's able to syndicate deals now, right, Ethan? You want to tell a little bit more to the audience here? Yeah.
So my first deal was 8 units with my dad with his own capital. Made a lot of not mistakes, learning lessons, right? We learned from it. Now we're better because of that. We didn't do our market research. We didn't get a good asset manager or property manager. So once I joined Vinney, it took me less than 12 months to actually close on my first syndication. Me and my dad partnered with 2 other students who guaranteed the loan for us. They did the asset management, plus they also found the deal. So what we did is we raised some capital. We did the underwriting. We helped with the loan documents, right? The due diligence that comes with that. And we syndicated 104 units in Texas. We raised a total of 2.4 million. And there's so much you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? So it's like so many things that happen that you don't know that books can't teach you, right? Unless you actually apply action and do it. And that's how you actually learn.
Sure. But I want to say that I know my biggest friends are Google and YouTube. I'm telling you. It's free. Podcasts are free. There's so much information. So if anybody's interested, parents or child, young 18, 14 years of age and all that, go ahead and look into any kind of topic on YouTube and there'll be so much great stuff. But then once you find that niche, then go ahead and get a mentor or get a coaching program.
Another thing would be seminars and webinars. When I started, it was before COVID, so it was a lot of in-person seminars, and they're free because they're always trying to upsell you to something, right?
Yeah.
So the first one's always free. So you immerse yourself in that space. You talk to those people.
Sure.
You see other young people doing it, and that really motivates you. So starting there, finding out what your niche is. For me, my first seminar was Rich Dad Poor Dad, half stocks, half real estate. So that's where I started, and eventually went to single family. And a few more seminars. I landed my way into a multifamily syndication free seminar. We bought into the course, and we were part of that like a few years ago. So that's what I would say. And webinars as well as a lot of free ones. A lot of people always trying to upsell, or maybe those investor seminars as well. Those are free as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Ethan. Going to seminars, because not only can you learn about it, but you get, well, you mentioned it, you get to meet people. And that's just that's so big. Having friends that are also doing what you're doing, like that you can legitimately just call up and like talk about whatever, or like just be able to have that connection. Ultimately, that's going to get you so far, just because that person's going to push you, you're going to push them, and you guys like each other. So seminars are great, man. You can meet a lot of people that are doing, what you're doing.
So true, so very true. This has been amazing episode, guys. I hope, everybody listening or watching us later on, you feel, and how can people reach you? I know you guys have done so great so far, and you are on a journey to make big things happen in multifamily. I will definitely say, before I ask you, I've been promoting multifamily, and that's why I wrote the book, on multifamily syndication. Syndication is a part where we pool money together, but underwriting, finding out, how to buy commercial. I just want to put a plug for the parents and everybody, don't just go for one single family, go for a duplex or a fourplex or a sixplex. Wouldn't you say that right now? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why we got into multifamily. I mean, we were in the single family space. We did wholesaling and creative finance for a year and a few months. And then we realized, hey, this is not what we want to do for the next 10 years. We want to be able to go bigger, faster, and be able to have more control as far as the evaluation side of things. And so that's why we got into multifamily like 5 months ago. Beautiful.
So how can people reach you?
You can find us on pretty much every platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. My Instagram is at Ethan Neumann Official, and then Ethan Neumann on other platforms. And then Harris, I'll let you go.
Yeah, our marketing mentorship has helped us out a little bit with this aspect. We're pretty easy to get to. Like Ethan said, Instagram is big for us, Facebook as well. My name's Harris Trail. Ethan is Ethan Neumann Official. But biggest thing I would say is go to check out our website, thevisioneergroup.com. We're giving away a ton of free stuff on the website. We literally just have documents that are multifamily related. We have some single family related. We have some just business related, and we give it all away for free. So go check us out on our website. Go take advantage of that. I mean, those are resources that we use every single day. So yeah.
Love it. What a great way, already giving back, we call it paying forward, right?
Yep.
So thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have both of you, and brother Ethan, Diaz also, who is in our director of the academy and all, so glad to have you again. Everybody, if you like, the content of today's episode, please go ahead and subscribe, put notifications on so that you could look at our YouTube channel. From VinneyChopra.com is our website. Of course, on Amazon, the books. And then, we are in Facebook, we are in LinkedIn and everything. Give us comments and like and share this episode. We could bring great guests like Ethan and, Harris to you. Thanks again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much.